Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they match up with Teddy Bridgewater and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Marr now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Teddy Bridgewater ready to lead the New Orleans Saints here, and he was really good last week at Seattle in that Saints surprising 33-27 win. And I say surprising because I think it was, CD, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they lose Drew Brees, you're going on the road to Seattle. Not many people expected them to win that one.
No, I think you put it out there perfectly. I think almost no one expected them to win. Drew Brees out. Bridgewater, who replaced him in Los Angeles against the Rams, wasn't that impressive in that game. But this looked more like the Teddy Bridgewater as the starting quarterback in Minnesota. Took care of the football, good statistics, great leadership, and the team rallied around him. That's a huge win for Teddy Bridgewater back as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there, good for his Saints' first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Let's go.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing, Bridgewater. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I could rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again with Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
To the 22-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys sit at 3-0 here as Dak Prescott brings out the offense. And Week 3 was the game you had, Charles, where they defeated Miami 31-6. Dak Prescott didn't have the perfect passer rating that he had the opening week, but still pretty efficient, 246 yards, and he threw for 2 scores.
And really got locked in the second half. In the first half, I think he and the Cowboys team actually pressed a little bit. Despite knowing that they were playing another NFL team, I think they felt like, okay, we can go out and get our statistics in this game. And they pressed it a little bit. Actually got a little greedy on his interception, trying to throw it downfield. But in the second half, locked in, played well, looked like the Dak Prescott we saw the first 2 weeks. He truly is ascending into the upper echelon of NFL quarterbacks.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Prescott. This one to Jarwin over the middle. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Elliott. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
Check 53's Mike. I'm going to run you over.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 31. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
Right there. Here we go. 54 Mike. Got you. What do you think? I got you, son.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Linebacker Demario Davis made the move from the New York Jets to the New Orleans Saints before the 2018 season, and that move really paid off for him. Always a terrific player. Now he was able to get to the playoffs for the first time in his NFL career.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Run.
1st down, Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Cooper was the target there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone, but sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Here's Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. The kick by Maher is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. CD, let's continue the discussion that we were having earlier when New Orleans first came onto the field in that opening drive. They had that win against Seattle, 33-27. Teddy Bridgewater was great. But for Sean Payton, how about this? First win as New Orleans coach without Drew Brees under center. And it doesn't hurt for Teddy Bridgewater to turn around and have Alvin Kamara behind him.
You're exactly right about that because he can hand it to him, and Kamara ran for 69 yards and a touchdown. He can throw it to him, 9 catches, 92 yards, and another touchdown. And speed was all over the field for New Orleans. How about the punt return by Deontay Harris for 53 yards and a touchdown? Helped break the game open.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. With that incompletion, we step league-wide for a second. I want to discuss Saquon Barkley's injury. Obviously, that hurts the Giants, who are having a quarterback change. And, look, Daniel Jones looked good, but they're going to need Saquon Barkley in that backfield.
In a big way. Not just as a runner, obviously, but his ability to catch the ball in the backfield, make plays in open space. 4 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Horrible news, not just for the Giants, but how about fantasy football teams? All right, if you've got Saquon Barkley, many of you selected him at number 1 in your draft. Now he's going to be out for a decent portion of the season.
You better hit your waiver wire and get Wayne Gallman quickly. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. From the gun, Bridgewater. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here we go. 480. 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 26. 54.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Elliott. And fights through one man. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side. Prescott stripped, and this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Don't get nervous.
Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. That'll be complete to Cook. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, Bridgewater. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
54. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Bridgewater on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Let's get this ball back for the offense.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got it. It's like they stopped him short. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Charles, I want to go back to the Cowboys' 3-0 start here as their offense comes back out onto the field. As you said earlier, they started slow in the game against Miami. Good second half, but how about the ground game? They had 2 guys go over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, Zeke Elliott, you expect. 3rd week back after, missing much of the preseason. He's in full form now. But their draft pick out of Memphis, Tony Pollard, got his first 100-yard game in the NFL. Looked really good doing it. And, of course, they can throw the ball to the outside as well. Amari Cooper, who they got last year in a trade, he found the end zone twice. This is a team that is very dangerous on offense because if you shut down any aspect, they've got plenty of other places to go that can give them production.
And I would like to thank Amari Cooper on my fantasy team, and I really appreciated those 2 scores. So thank you, sir.
Attaboy, Amari, hooking a man up.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Out a good one as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Let's go.
Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Draw play. Elliott. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. We'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Play fake. Bridgewater. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Bridgewater to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Charles, before the game, you and I were looking at the still undefeated teams in the league, and Detroit's technically won at 2-0-1, but let's look at the 3-0 teams. The Bills, Patriots, Chiefs, Cowboys, Rams, 49ers, and Packers. I'm guessing if I ask you who would lose first, you might say Buffalo because they play New England this weekend.
I think you're right about that because that's what you look at. What's the schedule tell us? We know the 49ers are safe because they got an open week coming, so they should be okay on that one. But you would say Buffalo, even though they're at home, New England gets them. But as a wild card, putting them on upset alert, Green Bay on Thursday night with a desperate Philadelphia team coming in. You know, you've got to be really careful with that, despite the fact Green Bay's defense has been so impressive in the early going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Bridgewater again. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Bridgewater. Harris has it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 18.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times, the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Lutz with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. A first down throw for Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Well, let's see, he was 8 of 13 prior to that pass, now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game, not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Cobb. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Prescott now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They've bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
Check three, check three, check three.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. You got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's our time. It's our time. Let's go.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger. And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.